Is there a point to showing you a vehicle that isn't even available in the market yet? Well, of course there is. Because you might be in the market for a compact crossover. And maybe you're ready to make that purchase and raring to drive off. But something tells me you might want to wait until you see this. Introducing the 2021 Chery Tiggo 7 Pro. So what we have here is an all-new compact crossover from Chery, and they recently celebrated their first-year anniversary since the re-entry into the Philippine market. And in a span of 1 year, they were able to release 4 extremely compelling crossovers and 1 EV. Now it seems they want to start 2021 with an even bigger splash, with the introduction of the all-new Chery Tiggo 7 Pro. So what can you expect from their all-new crossover, which is meant to compete with other crossovers that have been plying our streets for decades? Well, it's really hard to resist the temptation that comes with owning a crossover, especially if you live here in the Philippines. With our hellish traffic and less than perfect roads, it's hard not to see why crossovers are such a desirable vehicle. It has good ground clearance, decent space, and car-like driving dynamics. While some crossovers appeal to your logical side, this appeals to your emotions just as well. I mean, just look at this thing. It's gorgeous. And if this is the shape of future models to come from Chery, then we really have a lot to be excited about. Gone are the days of Chinese cars being knockoffs, because this is distinctly Chery. And it's not just eye candy either, because some of the features here are quite functional as well. Take these LED headlights for example. They provide almost 3 times more illumination than conventional halogens. Also worth noting is that the T1X platform that this sits on was designed in partnership with Jaguar Land Rover and is made of 60% high-strength steel. And I know looks are subjective, but this is a certified head-turner wherever you go. And the drool-worthy aesthetics doesn't end on the outside, because when you step inside, you're in for another treat. It's the same story here. You have space, practicality, and ergonomics that'll appeal to your logical side, and a few non-essentials that'll steer your emotions. Because the folks at Chery know that they have to appeal to your needs and your wants in order to make a breakthrough. The materials used here are fit to be in something that costs twice as much. The features and tech are guaranteed to satisfy your inner nerd. And the fit and finish is just superb. It's exquisite. But not only do we have an interior that looks and feels good, it's also cleverly designed. So practicality was not overlooked. Everything in here, from the fit and finish, the materials used, these AC controls, the gear lever, it tells you that you're in something special, and it makes you feel special. And you don't always get that from a crossover. The Chery Tiggo 7 Pro is expected to sell in the neighborhood of 1.2 million pesos. So that means it will compete with the likes of the very popular Geely Coolray. And there's no doubt that the Tiggo 7 can take on the Coolray in terms of features. But since the Tiggo 7 is significantly bigger, it will come with the added bonus of offering more space. Now I'm not going to cover too many details here because this is a pre-launch model. But the actual model they're going to release during the launch will be even more decked out, so I'm sure you won't be disappointed. But since we're lucky enough to have this model here with us, we might as well go for a drive. So like I said earlier, if you're after specs, you're going to have to wait for my full review once this vehicle is officially launched. But I will tell you this, the new Tiggo 7 also has a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine similar to what you'd find in the previous Tiggo 7 and in its bigger brother, the Tiggo 8. But there are two main differences. One, this has more torque. So it responds a lot quicker. But the second difference is this has a CVT. Yes, you heard me correctly. While the previous generation Tiggo 7 and its bigger brother, the Tiggo 8, both had dual clutch transmissions, this comes with a continuously variable transmission. And if you've been following this channel for a while, you all know how much I love CVTs. I love them as much as I love slow drivers who occupy the fast lane. But the thing is, this CVT is a little different. Let me show you. So it's still a CVT in every sense of the word. It does not try to hide the fact that it is a CVT by trying desperately to emulate a manual transmission. But since you have more torque, there's no droning. You don't get that rubber band effect that you typically do. And it's tolerable. No, it's more than tolerable. Dare I say, it's exhilarating. And when you're not driving around like a 10-year-old, it's a breeze to drive because it's so smooth and it also helps fuel efficiency. If only all CVTs were this good, CVTs wouldn't have such a bad reputation. But crossovers have to offer way more than just good power delivery. They have to be comfortable and easy to drive amongst so many other things. So stay tuned for my full review of the Tiggo 7 once it's officially been released. Because I really want to let you know why I think this will be one of the best-selling compact crossovers in the Philippine market. But until then, see ya!